Wait, what? Hold up. I've read kidnapping and it instantly just buzzword. Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Johanna and welcome to my cozy book space. Let's do a quick rapid fire new releases of books that I'm anticipating for the month of September. I actually have quite a few for the month of September, so I will most likely give you the title, the tagline, brief, tropes, etc, etc. With that being said, also take these new releases on my Google Calendar with a grain of salt, because I literally just today, looking for September new releases, I found out that a book that I talked about in the month of August actually doesn't even come out until December. So literally take every new release that I talk about for this month with a grain of salt. Double check it if a book sounds exciting for you and you're excited about that book and want to know when it comes out. Double check, because Miss Girl, I know I didn't. I just hear about a book once and add it to my Google Calendar, and that's where it stays forever. So let's get right into it. Starting off with September 2nd, which is on a Tuesday. I believe literally almost all of these come out on a Tuesday. So like literally new release Tuesday, like I don't know what's going on. Let me actually check this one book because it doesn't come out on a Tuesday and maybe it's wrong. Okay, well, actually, there is no release date for that one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take it off my calendar. Literally, every book I'm about to talk about comes out on a Tuesday, so I don't know. Take it up with the publishing company. I don't know why they just do it all on Tuesdays. September 2nd, we have Burn Bright by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This one is book one in a new series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. It's called Cobalt Empire. If I'm not mistaken, it's giving actually I don't even know what's giving, but let's just read some of the tagline. Love burns hottest when it's blue. Burn Bright is the first book in the Cobalt Empire series, a new adult romance series about legacy, loyalty, and love. So you know what, I think if anything, this is like the second generation of that one really popular series Krista and Becca Ritchie wrote. He is the sixth born Cobalt. So honestly, I think I'm right. So if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely keep in mind that it comes out September 2nd, very, very early on in the month. Next one that we have is Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. This one, I actually saw a TikTok about it and was like immediately intrigued, but I believe it is the second book in like this romance series. It is the second book in the Honey and Spice series. So the first one being Honey and Spice. That one is literally a book that I have seen everywhere. I haven't really heard many reviews. Maybe it's just not like on my radar. Sweet Heat says 3 years after their breakup, Kiki's worked hard to forget her first love, but just as she thinks she's got her life under control, jumping into the distractions of her romance by calendar and by boyfriend and plans for her best friend Amina's wedding, Kiki's career implodes, the family business teeters on collapse, and Malachi returns. As Malachi takes up his role as best man opposite her maid of honor, suddenly Kiki can think of nothing but their simmering chemistry. What went wrong and why is it now impossible to act normal around each other? This actually has really high ratings. A lot of people love this one and it sounds so interesting. I am a sucker for second chance romance, so I'm definitely excited for that one, and it comes out September 2nd as well. Then we have The Good Girl Effect by Sarah Kate. I was actually very much surprised about this one because I did not know that Sarah Kate was coming out with a whole other series. This is the first book in a new series from her called Salacious Legacy. It says here, Jack St. Clair is desperate, a grieving single father. He buries himself in his work running a brand new kink club in Paris. Okay, Miss Sarah Kate. Another kink club, another one. But at least it's in Paris. Instead of handling his grief, he's built a fortress around his heart. In his time, he hired someone to help him take care of his daughter before things get worse. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Kink club, single father, grieving single father, and he needs to hire a nanny, and then he ends up falling for her. Yep, forced proximity, they live together, live-in nanny. Yep. Then we have, for September 9th, we have Eldritch by Carrie Lake. This is actually the second book in the Anathema duology. I gave Anathema 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It was scary, spooky. I haven't found a book that has made me feel spooky vibes like that one, but I did think it was a little bit too long. I think we could have wrapped it up, but maybe because of the atmosphere, the spooky writing, it just was a very thick book. So with that being said, I do really want to read the second book in the Eating Woods duology. I believe it's a duology. It says here it's a series. I don't know how many more books we need with these two characters, to be honest, but I really, really want their HEA, the hero and the heroines, and I believe that maybe it's one of those series that has like 2 books with the hero and heroine, and then in the second book they get their HEA, and then in the third book it's like a whole different couple, and it continues that way. But we'll see. This says here, in the darkly enchanting sequel to Anathema, Mavis and Zavander must navigate the perilous mortal lands to deliver Zavander from the clutches of an ancient malevolent power that threatens to shatter both worlds. I'm not going to read the synopsis for this book because it is the second book in the series, and so I don't want to spoil anything that is in the first book. Moving on, for September 9th, we have People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. I actually am not sure what this one is about or if it's like a connected series, but it is Hannah Bonham Young, and Hannah Bonham Young is a author that is on my radar, and I have been wanting to read her books for the longest time. I think this is just a standalone. It says here, in this sexy and emotional romance from the acclaimed author of Out of the Woods and Out on a Limb, a small town woman's journey to spread her wings intertwines with the arrival of an adventurous newcomer who brings out the best in her. I really want to read this just for the simple fact that I absolutely love the cover. It's giving literal fall vibes. This is like probably going to be like one of the perfect books to read in the month of September. We have Picture Perfect by Tessa Bailey. This is the next book in her Big Shots series. This is book 4. We actually meet these characters at the end of book 3, and this one is a baseball romance. I believe all of the other ones were, oh, they're all different. They're all different sports. Oh, and there's going to be a book 5. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm excited for this. I have an arc for this. I'm excited to read it. You guys know how I feel about Tessa Bailey. I'm gonna eat it up. Then last one for September 9th, we have Wild Card by Elsie Silver. This is the series that I've been wanting to read. This is the newest one that comes out. It is Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. This is book 4. Sebastian Russo is a grumpy, hot as hell fire pilot who is too damn good with his hands. It's the perfect combination, but unfortunately for me, he's also my ex-boyfriend's dad. Okay, that's all I need to know. I don't want to read anymore because I haven't started this series. I love Elsie Silver and I've just been putting it off for the longest time, and I'm so sorry. I literally own every single book of this and I haven't even fucking read it. And moving on, we have Dance With Me by Alexis Daria. She is actually re-releasing this book on September 16th, just like with a new cover, like with the first book in the Dance Off series. The first book being Take the Lead. She's re-releasing this series with brand new covers and maybe edited or just maybe just new covers and re-releasing it for people to read. So yeah, Dance With Me comes out September 16th. Then on September 23rd, we have a few releases as well. First off, I'm going to talk about the Scared Sexy collection by multiple authors. They all come out on September 23rd, and they are just novellas from different authors. It says here, fall for something wicked. They lurk in the shadows and haunt your dreams, but these supernatural creatures want more than just your soul. So it's just going to be paranormal romances from different authors, and the authors chosen, I'm excited. I'm excited to say the least. First one being Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. This is when a vampire slayer loses all his memories. The only person who can help him is the vampire he's tried to kill for centuries in this unforgettable short story. Book 2 is Falling by Christina Lauren. One darkly seductive immortal's power of persuasion have worked flawlessly for 9 centuries until he meets the one woman he can't resist. Book 3, Spicy Little Curses by J.T. Geisinger. J.T. Geisinger, you guys. I'm so excited for all of these. It says, a reporter's disbelief in the supernatural is tested when she uncovers a tattoo artist's sinister family secrets. 4th book, Space Vampire by Ruby Dixon. Are you kidding me? These are all gonna eat. I just know. In a universe full of heartless aliens, an abandoned human and a vampire clone discover an unexpected connection. 5th one, Beautiful Nightmare by Katie Robert. For one awkward sleep paralysis demon scaring humans should be simple, except Gemma's first solo haunting goes hilariously wrong in this tantalizing dream of a short story, etc., etc. Last one, My Boyfriends Are All Monsters by Kimberly Lemming. Tossing a coin in a mysterious well seems like a harmless way to cope with being ditched on a mountain until every impossibly hot man in town starts competing for one woman's attention in this steamy short story, etc., etc. Okay, sounding like a white shoes. Okay, they all sound really, really interesting, you guys. So those all come out September 23rd, and I think that they're just gonna be the perfect books, honestly, to read either at the end of September and early October in October vibes. I love when authors come out with like short novellas because they're just fun, easy reads to pick up, especially maybe if like you're in a reading slump. Next up, we have Thief of Night by Holly Black. This is actually the second book in the Book of Night duology. I'm not going to read the synopsis of Thief of Night by Holly Black because I, for one, have not read the first book because I did hear mid things about it. But it is a duology, and the second book is coming out September 23rd. So if it does intrigue you, then it would be better to read it when you know the duology is finished. That's why it's kind of on my radar because I do love Holly Black. Let me read the synopsis of book 1, actually, the Book of Night. Charlie Haw has never found a lock she couldn't pick, a book she couldn't steal, or a bad decision she wouldn't make. Determined to survive, she's up against a cast of doppelgangers, mercurial billionaires, glommist, and the people she loves best in the world, all trying to steal a secret that will give them vast and terrible power. It just sounds really interesting, you guys. It really does. It really does. Okay, then we have Taurus Season by Bryn Weaver. This is going to be Bryn Weaver's newest series. This is called The Seasons of Carnage Trilogy Book 1. So it's going to be 3 books. I'm excited because I do love me some Bryn Weaver, and I think this book is going to be perfect to read in the month of October. I know it comes out in the month of September, but it's just giving October vibes for me. It says, welcome to Cape Carnage. Visit once, stay forever. Cape Carnage is a seaside town of colorful houses, quirky shops, and an unusually high body count. Taurus Season is a darkly funny, slow burn, enemies to lovers romance where destruction and desire are balanced on the edge of a blade, and where love is the most dangerous battleground of all. We have What Fury Brings by Trisha Levenseller. I know of Trisha Levenseller because I have heard about her other books, but she actually has a new series coming out September 23rd. It says Trisha Levenseller makes her adult debut in What Fury Brings, a sexy, empowering romantasy featuring a warrior general who must kidnap and train. Wait, what? Hold up. I've read kidnapping and it instantly just buzzword. Who must kidnap and train a husband in order to take her rightful place as queen. It says there's a shortage of men in the kingdom of Amara. Praise be. After a failed rebellion against the matriarchy, most noblemen in the country are dead. Now the women of Amara must obtain their husbands, should they want one, by kidnapping them from other kingdoms. Why am I living for this? Olara, a warrior princess vying for the throne, is determined to prove her worth by kidnapping a husband, and not just any husband. To outmaneuver her treacherous cousin, she needs the best. Fortunately, the second-born prince of their greatest enemy is widely known both for his looks and his sweet, docile temperament. He's the perfect choice to secure her claim to the throne. Sanos, heir to the kingdom of Brutus, has nothing but contempt for the idea of a society run by women. Trained from birth to fight, lead, and follow in his father's overbearing footsteps, his path has always been set, until he takes his younger brother's place in a drunken prank and finds himself kidnapped, carted off to Amaran Palace, and informed that he is to become the husband of Queen Potential Olara. Sanos needs to escape before anyone learns his real identity, but the more he gets to know his captor, the less sure he is of what he truly wants. Okay, that sounds actually so good. That is so different. Like, I've never heard anything like this before. I am so intrigued, and like the first print run of this book is absolutely gorgeous. Like the sprayed edges. Like, are you kidding? We're on the last leg of this September new releases. We have Alchemized by Senlin Yu that comes out September 30th. Alchemized, I'm not necessarily going to read the synopsis because we all know the fan fiction Manacled. So this is Manacled, but actually written so it could actually be published. So it doesn't have any of the Harry Potter themes, characters, plot in this alchemized, new revised publisher version. It is the same author, so I think it's still going to be a very, very well done book. And I am planning on reading Manacled before I read Alchemized, but Alchemized is definitely on my radar because I want to see like the difference and what Senlin Yu actually comes up with on her own. And I know how much Manacled is beloved, and I think because it's going to be a publisher version of a book and it's not necessarily going to be a fan fiction, I think the editing is going to make this book a lot better, hopefully, because my one issue with fan fiction is I always think it's so long. That has to do a lot with fan fiction because when it is fan fiction, sometimes when these authors are writing them, they release chapters like every 3 days, every week, every month, etc. So they kind of just keep it going because for the fans. But the alchemized little snippet says, in this riveting dark fantasy debut, a woman with missing memories fights to survive a war-torn world of necromancy and alchemy, and the man tasked tasked with unearthing the deepest secrets of her past. Another release coming out September 30th, we have Every Spiral of Fate by Tahara Mafi. This is actually the 4th book in the This Woven Kingdom series. I do believe this is not the final book in this series. I will read This Woven Kingdom kind of snippet because I don't want to spoil anything for Every Spiral of Fate, because I myself have not read this series, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, and I'm hoping to read or start this series in the month of September. It says here, clashing empires, forbidden romance, and a long forgotten queen destined to save her people. Tahari Mafi's first in an epic romantic trilogy inspired by Persian mythology. It says here that it's a trilogy, but the 4th book literally comes out September 30th. So I don't know if it's gonna follow like different characters or what, but it is a young adult fantasy. Honestly, a lot of people, when they talk about this, it's like the pining and like the angst, and they are always just giggling, screaming, and kicking their feet. And I am so excited to dive into this series by Tahara Mafi. Then we have Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I believe this is gonna be Lila Sage's debut paranormal romance. I think it's gonna be a small town paranormal romance. This is gonna be the first book in the Sweetwater Peak series. It says here, home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. The #1 New York Times best-selling author of Rebel Blue Ranch series returns with a brand new story featuring a small-town upholsterer in need of a fresh start, a photographer whose life has come to a screeching halt, and the supernatural forces that bring them together. I really love the cover. It has paranormal aspects to it. It's giving spooky vibes. I'm excited to see what Lila Sage does with this book. With that being said, that is literally the last book of September. I thought there was going to be another one, but there's not. That was literally the last one. Let me know if I missed any new releases that you are anticipating for the month of September, but I think I got quite a few. I think I got like a variety of new releases that I'm kind of really into and excited about, and I hope you guys are excited about them too. But if you don't want to comment any of that in the comments, then go ahead and leave me like a coffee emoji, like a coffee or like a hot drink emoji. I think the hot drink, I think there's only either the green tea or like the coffee. I don't think there's anything else. But definitely leave me the coffee emoji because I think coffee gives fall vibes, September vibes. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.